So we need to figure out based on. So I'm really looking at the part here where you're looking at the struggle, because that's really where everything's going to take place.
Okay.
So CSTP wise though, engaging student support and all students in learning, which I think that's where we're going to land in. Environments for student learning, I don't think that really. Your room's set up in a way already that.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the lesson.
No, it really doesn't. Understanding, organizing the subject matter for student learning, which I think you've done. Really, we're probably hitting a couple of these already out of here. 3.1, demonstrating subject matter, academic content, and curriculum frameworks. Your lesson is built to do that.
And 3.2, applying knowledge of student development. I know how they're going to work. I know how they're going to talk. So
right.
I'm arranging it so that they'll discover on their own.
3.2. So you're hitting a bunch of these already. Utilize instructional strategies that are appropriate to the subject matter.
Right.
Which really, that might be really they're kind of the bread and butter of the whole thing because of that struggle. Using adapting resources, technologies, not yet.
No technology.
Addressing the needs of English learners. Really, you don't. Are there any in that group?
No, I don't have English learners in that class.
And if you did, you'd have them placed with each other, so like you do in your other classes. So that's not a really. Planning instructional and designing learning experiences, where really you're kind of hitting that as well.
Well, designing the lesson for them to articulate but that I'm not articulating goals for student learning during the class because I want them to just develop their own, and they're gonna kind of come in at their own knowledge level. So really, they're gonna kind of self-diagnose that, developing sequencing long term. You've done that in your lesson planning, building it out, adding a layer each time. So really, you've actually hit 4.3. Instruction incorporates appropriate strategies, which this is really this is more of a fact finding. So you're really gonna address this in your next lesson. Really going back and now I know where the kids are, so I know where to begin. Adapting plans and curriculum materials. Yeah, no, not that one.
That one. Assessing students for learning. You're really not assessing at this time, so we'll skip that one. And developing a professional.
No. As
a professional educator. Yeah, I think you're fairly professional.
Well, yeah. But reflecting on teaching practice, that would be done after.
Mm-hmm.
That's things I do after the lesson.
Yeah, collaborating with colleagues.
And that'll be done on Thursday.
Working with families to support student learning. We don't really do much of that, as much as we could, or should anyway.
Yeah.
Local communities, managing professional responsibilities. So I'm really thinking here, though, engaging the students and supporting.
Variety of instructional strategies.
Which one's that?
4.
4, yeah, 1.4.
Not doing much with technology in that, but I am doing, doing different.
Well, you're working with such a small time period. I don't think really trying to get the kids putting their iPads out and all that. That's not going to work.
Not in this lesson.
But monitoring student learning and adjusting instruction while teaching. That's really going to
right here. Critical thinking through inquiry, problem solving, and reflection.
That's really where you're lying in there.
That's most of it right there.
So now the question is though, is there any questions we can predict ahead of time to address?
Questions as far as
what's the one thing? What's probably one thing they're gonna when you get to they're all gonna that's gonna be like they're gonna max out without any going back and really structuring it.
At the point where we get a square root of x plus 2, x minus 3, something like that, where you get a binomial underneath a radical, knowing to square that, that first, and then secondly, when you have a square root equals a binomial and you have to square the binomial, that's where you're going to really, I know I'm going to run into trouble there.
Right, and that's where we got that, we were talking about that x plus 4 mistake we were talking about earlier. Okay.
Yeah, they're going to have to remember FOIL, and as much as we hate to use the word FOIL, it's really...
Yep.
It's just a good name for distributing.
Remembering to distribute, absolutely. Yeah. Kids remember that for some reason.
Right.
They don't remember to distribute.
Yeah.
So we're looking at 1.5 and 1.6 is probably going to be the primary ones.
Yes.
So when we come back, then I guess that's probably where we're going to want to kind of revolve our conversation around those two.
Sure.
So cool.
No problem.